y'all go ahead and make fun of leftover grits. Go right ahead. It's hot. This jalapeno and cheddar makes me sweat. So right around 9:30 a.m. what I would normally be doing is just beginning the process of outlining the show. Normally I would be starting that process right now, but personal stuff, very necessary stuff with this bank account, debit card information getting stolen, people buying stuff in some other part of the country with our debit cards. We had to get them canceled. We're having to pick up new ones. The positive of the mask is that it has my team on it. The negatives of the mask, number one, it makes my ears stick out. And number two, I feel weird about wearing a mask into a bank. I'll make it back to the office home about 10 o'clock. So that'll be 2 hours before the show starts, which is plenty of time to kind of organize the show and get ready to go. The challenging thing is this late in the process to line up guests. One of the things everybody's going to be talking about today is the Michael Jordan documentary. And there's not a bigger Michael Jordan fan growing up than me, but I didn't see the documentary last night. I'm going to see it. I'm going to go in and see if I can find it on demand, but didn't watch the Michael Jordan documentary, the first 2 parts last night. I was just doing other stuff last night, so I missed it, but I don't need a documentary to tell me what Michael Jordan was. I lived through it. That it actually is going to help me to ask the right questions of anybody who might be interesting who did watch that documentary. So I'm thinking about my fellow broadcaster who, you know, a guy who's a pro broadcaster is interesting. They talk well, they speak well, they know how to hold your attention. So my buddy Neil Price, who's really good on the radio, I know he watched the documentary. And I could just interview him at the top of the show, and I'm going to ask all the right questions because it'll be genuine, because I didn't see it. And so I think this may work out. Just going through links that a couple of, prep services that I have access to, and then just kind of looking around and seeing if there's anything else out there interesting I want to talk about. So there's a good, hour at the minimum of just browsing. Plan the show in pretty much an hour. Now, that's not what you want to do every day, but today, because of errands and some other stuff, obviously time got crunched. From a little town in East Tennessee, number one in your heart, Neil Price.
Yeah, can we find a way to just make that happen every time I appear on your show? That'd be wonderful.
You got it. Didn't sit down and watch the beginning of the documentary last night. So all of my questions for you are going to be of the genuine variety.
Yeah, and we'll probably spoil some things for some people who haven't seen it. So, by all means, we want you to keep listening. But if you don't want to know what happened last night, cover your ears. So it gets dark, what feels like early. 6:30, 7 o'clock. On the radio in the middle of the day, it's so hard to mix and match and piece the schedule together around it so you can get some stuff done and do some things around the house and kind of not feel like your entire day is taken up in that chair behind the microphone.
And there they go.
This is adorable. They're so close.
Congratulations on your babies.
I love it. I look how they bend their heads. Oh, look
One
at the
little
little
straggler.
ducklings.